I hear men talking on that side, so men them shut up. Grind to the sun up. Who men them talking on that side? What? Yeah. Who men them talking on that side? So men them shut up. Grind to the sun up. Grind. What? Who men them talking on that side?
Hey, yo, what up, squad? Welcome back to HOODROK Entertainment, bro. Realest, dopest, most active reaction channel on YouTube. Bro, Sweden. I said, yo, we're covering a little bit more of the Shottaz and Death Patrol beef. Now, bro, I've pretty much already been up to date on all of this stuff, bro. This is something new that they're going to tell me, because I've already reacted to a whole bunch of these videos before, especially after Ayna passed away. Rest in peace, Ayna. I don't know who made this video neither, bro. I'm not sure, because it's in English. People were telling me that this was in English, so I don't know who's made the video. I don't know if it's some official or where they got the info from, but if there's anything that he's not getting right or she's not getting right in this video, don't forget, correct it in the comment section, because I don't like, you know, false information or anything like that. But yo, we all know Sweden. We all know Sweden is, for the last few years, been going through a whole bunch of shit, bro. The gang violence has been on the rise. The gun violence over there is the highest in Europe. All of that. So we know when it comes to their street shit, especially Stockholm, like Stockholm, Rinkeby, like especially Rinkeby, Stockholm, right? So yo, anyone tapping in from there, I hope y'all niggas are safe, bro. Stay safe, stay dangerous, all of that. You know what I'm doing. We rolling. We're rolling something to smoke right now, so I can smoke while we watch this. But yo, run the numbers up on this. Click up, squad up, tap in, all that out. I'm interested to find out what this video contains, because I don't think they still haven't found the murderers of like people like Ayna, you know, Roz, cats like that. So you know, free Haval, free Drilo, free, you know, 50 cats like that. So let's get into this, bro. See what's up.
2 men in their 20s have been shot.
Like, I know that Death Patrol started because of, like, they used to be one gang, and they were split after some kind of shooting or robbery or something like that, or both, or something like that. I know that much. Right, so we'll see.
Shot dead in Stockholm in an apparent gangland killing. Swedish police say they were sitting in a car in a suburb northwest of the capital where gangs have been fighting turf wars. It brings the number of dead in such attacks to 5 in the past week, 7 since the start of the year.
So when we think of gang warfare, we maybe think of America, England, or maybe some third world country.
Bro, I know who this dude is. I'm pretty sure I've watched a video of this cat before, narrating it, or a video he's put together. He's just a normal dude like me, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, we'll see what he's got to say.
But not Sweden. In this video, we will be going through a deadly war in the capital city of Sweden called Stockholm, which, despite Sweden being a country of only 10 million, made Sweden have the highest gun deaths in the whole of Europe in 2018. Let's get into it.
Funny that, because Sweden ranks in the top 6, so does New Zealand. I think New Zealand's second. New Zealand's second, and Sweden ranks number 6 or something as the safest country in the world. So I mean, I think what they take their ratings off, bro, is like, you know, I think it's safe for travelers, it's safe for the average person, but if you're from the hood and you actually live that life, it's not safe anywhere in the world if you live in the hoods and you're from that life, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what country you're from, the hood is the hood, right?
Okay, so like I said before, we are going inside the capital city of Sweden called Stockholm. More specifically, a small town inside Stockholm called Rinkeby, home of 2 of the most ruthless gangs in the country. Now, Sweden for quite a few decades now has had quite an open and relaxed policy towards asylum-seeking refugees. The country was quite notorious.
I reacted to a video central on that, bro, on the immigration thing over there in Sweden. So yo, go check those videos out. You'll see them pop up at the end.
Letting residents of war-torn countries like Syria and Somalia claim asylum inside their country. And when refugees would come in, there were a few towns normally they would be sent to. One of these towns being Rinkeby. In fact, Sweden actually has the highest asylum immigration per capita in the whole of Europe. But despite Swedish open door policies, a lot of the Swedish people wasn't as accepting to the new arrivals, and far-right protests didn't make integration the easiest. Now Rinkeby is home to a massive Somali population who were escaping violent conflicts in their home country, but a lot of Somali people who moved to Rinkeby were struggling, and high unemployment rates and hard living was a common theme with.
You see, now I've said that in the last video, I said that in that immigration video, I said, yo, there's nothing wrong with immigrants coming to your country. Ain't nothing wrong with immigrants coming to your country, but if you're going to have an open door policy and you're going to allow so much immigrants to come in, then have work for them. Do you know what I mean? And integrate them into your communities. Don't segregate them in one place. It's just stupid. What do you think's going to happen?
The Somali immigrants who just moved in. So the kids of these immigrants had to get it in another way, with the other way mainly being drug dealing and robberies. But on the 22nd of July 2015, a robbery gone wrong led to one of the worst bouts of violence Europe has ever seen. 4 Somali boys from Rinkeby planned and executed a robbery on a currency exchange in a city called Tabi. They ran off with around $200,000 and the robbery was talk of the town. But not everybody was happy about this. The robbers who executed this left out a couple
what, the owner of the business ain't happy?
younger members from the robbery, despite the younger members being part of the planning for it. The reason why the younger members were missed out was despite the about this. The robbers who executed this left out a couple younger members from the robbery, despite the younger members being part of the planning.
This is what I heard.
The reason why the younger members were missed out was due to a previous robbery where one of them let off an unnecessary shot, so they were seen as a liability. The same day.
Right. It's a lame excuse, cause if they were a liability before you did discern, you know what I mean? If they let off if they did some stupid shit in the last earn that you did, then why the fuck would you take them on the next one anyway? If they're such a liability, why would you go and commit the next crime with them? Because the most riskiest part of the next crime is actually doing it. So why the fuck would you take them to do it with you? They used that as an excuse afterwards, bro. That was their excuse after the fact that they ripped the youngins off. The
youngest started demanding money from the robbery.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have taken him.
The person who was thought to be behind the robbery was a 19-year-old called Izzy. Hours after the robbery, he was shot dead, starting the feud. The next day, the whole town is shaken by the brutal murder, and Izzy's friends were not happy. So Izzy's friends arranged to meet with some of the younger members who was meant to be involved in the robbery at a petrol station.
So the youngins, apparently, don't forget, this is all alleged. So apparently the youngins smoked one of the elders, who obviously isn't that much older, but smoked one of the older members of the gang, and now the older members are gonna go get some get back. Alright?
Meet with some of the younger members who was meant to be involved in the robbery at a petrol station, with the younger members thinking that they might be getting their cut from the robbery when they arrived. Instead, when they pulled up, 16 shots were let off onto the younger members, killing one 16-year-old and injuring the other, creating a big divide in the town between the younger and older Somali group of friends, with only 2 to 3 years separating them, with the older group who supported Izzy later calling themselves Shottaz, and the younger group calling...
So Izzy, who got killed, is from Shottaz. So that's like Yasin and all them cats, right? And you got Death Patrol, which is like Drilo and shit, right?
The older group who supported Izzy later calling themselves Shottaz,
okay,
and
so
the younger group calling themselves DP or Death Patrol. Now Rinkeby is a small town, real small, with less than 20,000 people living there, and a lot of the Somali community already knew what was about to happen, with some of the kids even relocating quite fast after these 2 days of carnage. But for a while it wasn't looking like a big issue inside the town, with only little spouts of arguments and fistfights, but no one was getting killed at this point. In Somali culture, there's something called called Blood Money, where the families of the deceased get together with the families of the murderers and discuss to pay a price for the murder. The two families of the murdered got together but couldn't agree on the
I've
blood
heard
money.
of this before. I've heard of this in other cultures as well. Like in some mafia families, they do that, right? The blood shit. Yeah, I got it. And a lot of other African cultures too.
Ritual, but they
You gotta remember, I'm Nigerian as well, bro. You gotta remember, I'm Nigerian, right? Y'all niggas know that. I'm a Nigerian Pacific Islander, so I mean, I know that other African cultures do that as
plan
well.
to have both of the murdered to be buried next to each other to show some unity between the two. But this piece was cut short on the 2nd of December 2016. A member of the Shottaz gang called Indiana was visited by his brother who was living abroad in university. Indiana and his brother were spending some time together before his brother had to go back to uni, so visited the local cafe to get some food. Out of nowhere, two masked gunmen from the death patrol ran into the cafe and started letting off shots. The two brothers tried to escape but got trapped inside the washing room and both were shot to death.
I think I seen the video on that where the dude just walks in, black hoodie on with the black hooded jacket. He walks in, just starts letting off shots.
Despite the brother not even having any affiliations, just being on a quick break from uni, this caused outrage and forced everyone from the small town of Rinkeby to pick one side, Shottaz or Death Patrol, and the beef starts to intensify. December 31st, the man is shot in his car that is linked to the Death Patrol gang. He's shot 4 times in his legs, but left with non-life-threatening injuries. Next day, another man from the Death Patrol.
How you shoot man in his whip? But not kill the dude. How did you shoot him in the legs all those times? You know what I mean? Always remember, bro, your first shots should always be at the windows. You know what I mean? Unless you're trying to be a goofy nigga. If you ain't trying to kill man, then don't even pull the pistol out, bro. Don't even pull the weapon out if you ain't trying to kill nobody, bro. Because that just means that you ain't willing to do that time and shit, you know what I mean?
Patrol side is shot. This time he died.
But how do you shoot a man that many times in the legs with no rounds?
At this point,
and he's not even moving, he's just sitting in his car. Like,
police are fed up, and so are the Swedish nationals. And the far-right movement in the country starts to grow, with protests storming throughout the country, with Swedish nationals wanting immigration to stop inside their country. On the other side, the immigrant population of Rinkeby were also not happy. They believed they were being targeted by police, and were starting to be unjustly...
Them far-right motherfuckers, bro. Fuck them niggas. But yo, I heard about that shit they was doing with the Quran and shit over there, the riots and shit. And yo, everyone has the right to practice and practice their religion and do all of that. You know what I mean? I'm not religious myself, but yo, I respect everyone's religion, bro. Like, bro.
Dealt with. Early in 2017, an alleged violent drug-related arrest near a metro station left the residents of Rinkeby to have enough, and large riots started storming throughout the city, which led to looting, arson, and even fights towards the police. 3 people were injured and 2 arrested. This came days after the former President Trump let off a speech towards a migrant crisis in Sweden, saying immigration is a big factor towards the violence which is taking over the country, and the country was starting to get split in half, with integration between Swedish nationals and migrants as bad as ever, with areas like Rinkeby even being called no-go zones from nationals and the press, and Islamophobia and racism on
I reacted to that video, the no-go zone shit,
the way up. But this didn't slow down the beef in the area, and it was the 8th of January when the Death Patrol gang struck again.
Yeah, because you gotta remember, the beef... Bro, the key thing here is the beef's got nothing to do... They're talking about, yeah, immigration. That's a small part. The only part that has to play with this is that they're immigrants. The fact that they're beefing, yeah, you can go deeper than that and be like, hey, yo, if you had created jobs for these people, they would have been blah, blah, blah. But the solid point is, it was ever a fucking niggas getting ripped off, bro. Right, it was about these youngins not getting paid, they cut. That's what the fuck this beef is about. It ain't got, you know what I mean? Like, you can say immigration, you can say all of that, but we leave that for the fucking suits and ties, right? We leave that for the suits and ties. Us niggas in the hood, we don't give a fuck about the immigration, bro. Them niggas killed our homie, so we gotta get smoking, nigga. Like,
this time in a pizza shop, when Hamza Abdi, a member of the Shottaz gang, was shot twice in the head. The shooting was caught on surveillance, and the police was desperate to find...
This is the video I seen. Sorry, bro. I take back that one earlier. I wasn't that. This is the one I see.
And the killer. But it was seeming like this would be another
The black hooded
unsolved case
jacket.
for the Swedish police. Until two young boys were caught doing a robbery
he not
2
gonna
months
show?
after the killing. One of these boys being a 16-year-old called Shaki. After they were caught by the police, they raided Shaki's house, where they found the same gun and clothes, which were used in the murder of Hamza Abdi the month.
Yo, I get it, bro. Guns are hard to find. I understand that, my nigga. I understand that, right? I live in New Zealand. I get that. But even like, yo, I'm not saying I got a gun now, but I can get my hands on some shit if I need to, right? But bro, if you've got a weapon that you've used to body some nigga, bro, you're definitely getting rid of that. You're definitely getting rid of that. And burn your fucking clothes, bro. What's wrong with y'all niggas?
Previous. They also matched Shaki's body type to the body type of the shooters. Now,
that
Swedish
ain't shit.
sentences and prisons
But
are
shit.
very light compared to the rest of the world. Sweden has quite a different type of prison system to most countries, and they focus more on changing and helping the prisoners instead of punishing
Hey,
them.
that's what's
Like,
up.
the prison rooms.
That's what's up, bro. You know what I mean? When I was 15, I got sentenced to, hey, look what's right in front of me from my live stream earlier. But when I was 15, I got sentenced to 7 years and 8 months for a body. But I got charged with manslaughter. They dropped the charge from murder down to manslaughter because I pled guilty, right? Hello, that was the last one. Injuries with intent to cause grievous bodily harm with a stabbing weapon. 2 of them. I ended up getting 6 years, 10 months. See, this is what they got to say about these sentences.
And they focus more on changing and helping the prisoners instead of punishing them. Like, the prison rooms look like uni accommodations, and it actually works with Sweden having the lowest reoffending rate in the whole of Europe. So even despite Shaki committing a murder, he was only sentenced to 3 years in the youth care unit. I'm not really sure how this...
Okay. 3 years? Damn. But yo, let me tell you something, bro. I've said this for years, bro. I spent 17 years locked up, but I've said this for years. They spend millions in my own country. They spend millions of dollars trying to catch us. They spend millions of dollars locking us up and keeping us here, and they spend no money rehabilitating us, bro. And that's why New Zealand has one of the highest reoffending rates behind America in the world, bro.
really works, because it would only make sense that having such light sentences would make people not really care about committing crimes. But on the other hand, I guess if you focus more on helping and educating the criminals, who more time probably had a harsh background, they'll have new skills and a new outlook to come out on. But with Shaki, this wasn't the case. He wanted to get out. So Shaki was on day release when he went out to a shopping mall accompanied by 2 guards. But also in the shopping mall was 2 of Shaki's friends waiting for him. Once they spotted Shaki, the 2 boys started threatening the guards and then escaped with Shaki, and they were on the run for months. A nationwide manhunt was out to find them, and many members from the Death Patrol gang got raided, but there was no luck, until a basement outside Stockholm was raided, and 2 members of the Death Patrol and Shaki was all found and arrested, with Shaki being sent back to serve a sentence. Now, if you know your geography, you'll know that Sweden borders another country called Denmark, but unlike Sweden, Denmark hasn't really seen much gang violence. In fact, Denmark is rated the 3rd most peaceful country in the world.
New Zealand. Hey.
But on June the 25th, 2019, Denmark was subject to something that no one expected.
Hey,
so
yo, that's
3
what I mean.
members of...
You see that? It says New Zealand, right? And I know Sweden's like 6. Right? But the thing is I'm from the hood. Right? And I don't look at numbers like that, because I've been stabbed 7 times. I got put in a coma for 18 days. All that kind of shit. You know what I mean? And even though that says that, New Zealand's prisons rank in the top 10 of the most dangerous prisons in the civilized world. Right? Of all the first world countries. So, I mean, if you're a tourist, you can go to any country. Go visit the sites, all of that, go home. You'll be fine. But if you're from the hood, it doesn't matter what country you're in. You got beef with some of the niggas and they're trying to kill you. So it don't really matter, right? But yo, Sweden, dangerous as fuck.
5th, 2019, Denmark was subject to something that no one expected. So 3 members of the Shottaz gang arranged to meet a Norwegian musician to network and make some tracks together. So they took a 7-hour drive from Stockholm to the capital city of Denmark called Copenhagen to meet up with a musician. But what they didn't know was that the musician had actually led the 3 Shottaz members into a trap. Waiting for them in Denmark was 5 members of the Death Patrol gang who flew in.
Shit! That's a major setup, my nigga. That's some international setup. Yo, that's a rapper from another country. Somehow connected with the DP niggas and has gone, yo, these dudes are coming through. You want us to, should we do what we gotta do and sit, yo, you know what I mean? This nigga's not even part of the beef, the dude from Denmark. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, shit.
Members into a trap. Waiting for them in Denmark was 5 members of the Death Patrol gang who flew in there the night previous. When they arrived, the Death Patrol gang started firing into their car. The driver managed to get out and run behind the parking garage with a shot to his leg. But his 21-year-old brother-in-law and another member wasn't as lucky, both dying from the shooting.
Shit.
One of the Shottaz members even tried to get out the car and crawl out, but a member of the Death Patrol gang got out of his car, reloaded his AK-47 and let off another 14 shots point blank range. The killers then took a picture.
God damn. Bruh. The dude was already shot up. Nigga had already caught some, right? He gets out the whip and he's crawling and shit. This motherfucker jumps out. Hold on, nigga. Boom, 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 boom. 14 more motherfucking times, nigga. And then he's like, hold the strap, nigga. Shit.
Of the 2 lifeless
Yo, I ain't laughing at the fact that the niggas are dead, bro, because they ain't no coming back from that. Rest in peace to everyone who's passed away in this video, bro. I'm quite surprised that he hasn't touched on, like, Ayna, you know, Haval, yeah, some cats like that, bro. But, hey, we still got a bit of the video left, so we'll carry on.
Posted it all over social media. 5 men were charged and sentenced for the murder, where they are serving life in a Norwegian prison. One man being 23-year-old Muhammad Ali. Recently it was decided that the killers would be deported back to Sweden to finish off their sentence. But news broke out that Muhammad is begging the court not to send him back to Sweden, saying that in a Swedish prison his life will be in danger. He even said he would rather be sent back to Somalia, which is where his parents are originally from. Just showing how dangerous this war is. Now, while all this violence and back-to-back killings were happening, a rapper from the Shottaz gang started to emerge.
Yasin, what up, my nigga?
Yasin the Don.
I take that back. I thought he wasn't going to say shit about these niggas. Alright.
From, just showing how dangerous this war is. Now, while all this violence and back-to-back killings were happening, a rapper from the Shottaz gang started to emerge. A kid called Yasin the Don, and he really blew up with one of his hit singles called Chicago. At the same time, there was another Swedish rapper running up on the scene.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, my nigga Ayna. Rest in peace, my nigga Ayna. Hey yo, and shout out Yasin. I know they're from different, you know, I know all of this, right? But I'm from New Zealand. I'm a reactor. I like both for all these niggas.
Chicago. At the same time, there was another Swedish rapper running up on the scene. A kid called Ayna from the other side of Stockholm. He was blowing up on the Swedish.
What do you call him?
Up on the scene. A kid called Ayna from the other side of Stockholm.
Hey, hold up. Did he just call him Ayna? Nah, my nigga. Nah, my nigga. Yo, this dude here. Yo, so far this dude, he put together a good video, bro. This is what I think, right? If you're new to the Swedish scene and you wanna get a quick rundown, this is a good video, bro. But definitely don't call him Ayna. Ayna? That's the police, my nigga. I'm pretty sure that's the police. Yo, correct me if I'm wrong. Definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure his name's Ayna. And Ayna is the police. Yo, because I've made that mistake myself. I made that mistake when I first reacted to Ayna. And people were in the comment section saying, yo, bro, that's the police. Yo, I don't know though. I could be wrong.
He was blowing
I
up
don't
on
think
the
I'm wrong,
Swedish
though.
charts, getting the most streams on Spotify in Sweden in 2019. But around the same time, Ayna was still knees deep in the streets, being affiliated with a gang called the Varby Network. Now, Yasin and Ayna actually used to be cool, until Ayna got into an argument with an affiliate of Yasin's gang, another big rapper in the city called Havel. After the argument, Yasin, Havel and Ayna would make slight disses towards each other, until Havel invited Ayna to an apartment to squash the beef.
Hey. He's missing a little bit here, right? Ayna and Havel used to get along. They've done songs together. They used to get on. Alright? I'm just gonna fill this little bit in. And I feel confident that I can say this, right? Because I've reacted to these songs. They've done a couple of songs together. And they did get along. But I do know that they did have a falling out. And this is what is not widely known to the wider community, is that they did have a falling out. Havel didn't just set him up out of nowhere. They did have a little dispute before that. A small one, right?
Beef. When Ayna pulled up to the apartment, Havel and others kidnapped him, tying him up and holding him hostage in an apartment. During the kidnap, Havel stole his watch, his chains, and held him for £100,000 ransom. The gang even forced Ayna to wear female underwear, and took numerous pictures of him in embarrassing positions. Havel and his gang threatened that if Ayna didn't pay the ransom money, that they would release the pictures. But Ayna refused to pay, so the pictures were posted all over social media. At the same time, Swedish police were starting to crack down heavy on Stockholm gangs, and once the pictures got released, they wanted to make examples out of Yasin and Havel. Same time, Swedish police were working with other countries on a crackdown of an encrypted network called EncroChat, which was a network where normally criminals would discuss illegal activities.
Yo, did they bust them using Encro? Yo, free up my little brother and shit, bro. They're sitting in jail right now because of the same shit. When Interpol cracked Encro, there was a whole lot of busts all around the world, bro. Even here in New Zealand. Oh, snap. Okay.
Network called EncroChat, which was a network where normally criminals would discuss illegal activities on an untraceable server, until the server was hacked by international authorities in 2020. During this hack, Swedish authorities managed to track messages sent by Yasin on the plot to kidnap the rival rapper Ayna. Yasin originally plotted to lure Ayna to a recording studio, where they would have captured him, but Havel beat him too.
Right, so I heard about all of this, but I didn't know it was on Encro that this happened. I didn't realize that they actually had the messages. You know what I mean?
Originally plotted to lure Ayna to a recording studio where they would have captured him, but Havel beat him to it.
Trying to get used to him calling
Havel
him.
were both arrested for the kidnapping, with Yasin sentenced to 10 months and Havel sentenced to 2 years. But the court wasn't happy.
If I got arrested for kidnapping, I'm easily looking at 6 years, bro, without fail. Without fail, bro. Minimum 6. Somewhere between 6 and 9 years, bro, is what I get. 7.5.
Wanted longer sentences, but to do this, they needed Ayna to testify against them at court. Several months later, Havel's little brother is shot and killed, and Ayna was the #1 suspect for this, but they had no evidence against him. But regardless of this, the court was still persistent on getting Yasin and Havel's sentence increased, but Ayna was still refusing to testify, so the police set up a false pickup from Ayna's apartment, so you'd have no choice but to go to court. That same night that decision was made, Ayna was shot dead with 1 bullet to the head and 2 to the stomach. No one knows the exact motive for the killing, but generally people think that it's because Ayna was about to testify on the kidnapping.
Now, I'll stop him there for a sec. He's bang on. Remember what he just said. No one knows the exact motive. I know I'm going to get a lot of comments. Oh, he got killed for this and he got killed for that. And bro, you don't know. My nigga, you don't know. Let's be honest, bro. Unless you were there when they planned the killing or whatever, you don't know. The problem with Ayna was he had created a lot of beef through his career, right? Because he had different gangs, you know, pretty much hang out with him as protection. I love Ayna, bro. But sometimes that's shit that's going to get you killed, bro. Shit like that can get you killed. You know what I mean? I gangbanged for 26 years. I understand that shit. I never played along the line. I didn't dance along the edge, bro. I was strictly about mine. You know what I mean? I represent my shit to the fullest. But the thing with Ayna was he wasn't actually a part of a gang, right? But he was from the streets. He was, you know what I mean? His mum was an actress. All of this shit. He did have an okay upbringing. But once, and people say, oh, he was fake. Well, if he was fake, then why'd he get shot? Ain't nothing more real than that. So, I mean, he got a bit of money, and he started hanging out with real niggas. You know what I mean? Which gave him credit for why he could rap about the shit he rapped about. But the problem was when you start meddling with too many different crews, and you're not paying people their money, which is what I heard. You know what I mean? Which is what I heard. He owed a couple of gangs some money. There was the whole thing about the testifying thing. There was a whole bunch of things that could have been the reason why he died. Then you got to think of that fuckwit, what's his name? Dumb Lee. I haven't mentioned him on here. He's not really worth mentioning because he's a piece of shit, but Dumb Lee, bro. You know what I mean? Go check out my last reaction on Roz, how he died, all that kind of shit.
Shootaz released videos on Snapchat just before the murder, with masks and the same Glock that was used for the murder. After the shooting, the killers released another video playing one of Ayna's songs in the background, with the caption 1-0. But still, no one's been charged for the rapper's death.
Taken down,
Yasin has since been released from prison for the kidnapping, but the feds still have him under investigation and could possibly re-arrest him for more serious charges to do with the kidnapping. He's also still a potential suspect for a murder on one of his own gang members that took place on New Year's Eve 2019. A 20-year-old Shottaz member called Vincent was shot dead in the back of a car in the early hours on New Year's Eve. In the car was 4 other shots.
Yo, shout out to yes. I've had a few of the squad members. Shout out to y'all niggas that have been telling me about this. When it actually happened, I remember, yo.
Members, including Yasin. In the hours before, Snapchat footage shows Yasin and Vincent eating at a restaurant just moments before the murder. There was even footage of other members in the car giving Vincent a present. Police believe this was all recorded to try and cover up the Shottaz members' motives for the killing. Straight after the murder, Yasin booked the first morning flight to London, but was arrested shortly after. Evidence shows that the shot was fired inside the car, and once they detained Yasin, they also found gunpowder particles on his clothes. Police say a possible motive for the murder was that Vincent had been getting closer with another gang in the area. But for now, Yasin and
You see what I'm talking about, bro? Nigga play, bro. What the fuck? Oh, bro. If you're living that life, bro, be 100, bro. Be 100, bro. Always be down with yours, bro. Fuck all the rest of them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck y'all niggas doing playing with other gangs, bro? What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Don't do that, bro. Keep it real, my niggas.
The murder was that Vincent had been getting closer with another gang in the area, but for now, Yasin and other members have all been released due to lack of evidence. Anyway guys, I hope this gives everyone a bit of insight into what is going on in Sweden. I'll probably start doing more videos covering different countries, so drop in the comments what you want me to cover next. It's been your boy Kid Nerd, and peace out.
No, that was a good video, bro. That was a good video. Just needs to get Ayna's name right. Let me know if I could have been saying it wrong all this time, but I don't think I am. Hey, yo, that was dope, bro. Yo, shout out to Sweden. Everyone out there, bro. Be safe, bro. It doesn't matter. I'm not just talking about Rinkeby. I'm talking about everyone out there, bro. Be safe. Stay safe. Stay dangerous. You already know what it is. Click up, scroll up, tap in, whatever you want to call it. Hit the notification bell, bro. Alright? Mad love, bro. I already knew a lot of this, I think. But there was a well put together video. Send me some more, bro. Send me some more. If there's anything you want me to react to, drop in the comment section or get at me on Instagram. Y'all know what it is. I'm out. Peace.